How close is your nearest green space and is it easy to get to?
In Scotland, I find it very easy to go to the green space in maybe 5-10 minutes walk. But in Pakistan, it's not easy to get access to the green space.
My closest park is 20 minutes from my house.
This take me 10 minutes to my closest park. My home is located between three local parks. I go and with my kids many times during the weeks, especially if it is school holidays.
The ground is away from 50 to 20 minutes by bus. So once a week, me and my son visit there.
What is enjoyable about your local green space?
Yeah, it's so refreshing. Eh, I hear this, I feel this smell at the park. I just enjoy it. It's kind of a place where I just unwind. I just feel like all my stress is gone whenever I go to the park. It's where I unwind.
Very important for me and also my son for physically and mentally.
I think Springborn Park is one of the best parks in Glasgow. Springborn Park always looks fresh and green. It's good for walks, it's good for children, and it brings community together.
My favorite green space it is Dodhop Park, which it is in Dundee. I like it because it has multi places, multi sections like playgrounds for kids, community gardens, and skate places. Also, some people do barbecue there, so I like it.
A great example of a community garden that I go to would be the Woodlands community in Glasgow. I found it so welcoming, and as a person of colour from like an ethnic minority background, I felt so welcomed in that space to enjoy.
What stops you from using your green space as much as you would like to?
Hate speech and discrimination has really stopped me from using the green space. Such a thing makes you never to come there again, and also you tell your fellow not to come there again.
I'm scared to send my kids in the parks because they had bad experience before of bullying and antisocial behavior.
Lack of lighting make me feel unsafe to go to the park.
For me, a huge barrier is travel costs. For where I live, if I want to go to a garden in Glasgow, it might cost me £10.
Most of these parks, like Bella Easton again, there is no toilet at all.
Many of us have phobia for dogs.
I go to Bella Easton every Friday for a group walk with friends. The dog, the major reason why a lot of us stopped going. Don't get me wrong, they are lovely, but I love them from afar.
What could be better? What changes would you want to see?
My son has been chased from the poor more than 3 times. There are these boys, they are in the park smoking, drinking. Immediately they see my son and two of his friends. They chased him out. There should be CCTV camera.
CCTV cameras.
CCTV in the park.
CCTV in parks for security and safety.
I think the sprinkler should be added also so that we can easily get water.
I think the council should do more to disseminate information for people living in the local area to be more aware of what goes on in the park, the events. And because most of the time we would like to participate, but we just don't know.
There needs to be more benches, there needs to be more lights, more maintenance, and more beings here.
I think the next step is community growing and get more people from ethnic minority backgrounds to grow their own food, which then they can get to green spaces and access sustainable food.
What does healthy and sustainable food mean to you?
It is the food that provides your body with the nutrition and all your needs to grow up, in addition to the consideration of the culture that you are come from.
Yeah, for me, cooking from scratch is what I consider healthy and sustainable. And that means having my fruits from the garden where I can pick and cook from.
Good food that is devoid of chemicals, food that is devoid of pesticides that at the end of the day we pay with our life.
In Nigeria, we eat healthy food in the sense that we eat a lot of vegetables that are not with fertilizer. They are just naturally grown and we pick them up. We eat from the scratch. We get it from the garden, wash and eat. It makes us healthy and strong.
What are the barriers to accessing healthy and sustainable food?
Major barrier for me is the costs, especially during this food inflation and cost of living crisis. It's very expensive to buy African food here.
Halal food are very expensive in Scotland.
So the farmer market is the best choice because they have fresh food and it's cheaper, but it's very difficult to be accessed. You have to take like a bus or a bus and taxi, so it will cost a lot of money. It's not easy.
Yeah, when you go to the market and you find the labeling organic food and something like healthy food, so it's confusing for, might be this is a marketing tactics, they use it and they affect your decision.
So asylum seeker in the hotels are just getting £9 per week per person. So they don't have the facility to buy what they need if they have different consideration like food culture or religion or anything. And they were just given some food which they don't like, but they don't have the facility to do something else. So they suffer also from the lack of dignity there because they have to line up to queue to get their food. And if there is a mom has a param or children, they have to push it or just to stay there lining up in a queue. It's a very bad thing. Food should be accessible for everyone with dignity, not like this.
How do you think your access to healthy food can be improved?
To make a pot of soup for myself and my 3 kids, I buy as much as 20 pounds worth of okra. If it's in season, the least I can get is 15 pounds to make a pot of soup. It's quite expensive. So if they are grown here, it will be way, way cheaper for us to buy.
Let there be policies that will give good food, that will cater for everyone. Let it be affordable and let it be available at the time people need it. Put subsidy in green foods, healthy foods, so that it could be affordable by all.
So cooking food that I grow is from my culture, and it's something I'd love to bring here.